startup after delivery to hit the road to Dalal Street joins the growing queue of close to 36 companies who have filed for IPOs this year alone.
Omnichannel furniture retailer Pepperfry put its IPO plans on the back burner. As per reports, it will instead focus on growth and profitability in the current financial year. The company was reportedly looking to raise $250 to $300 million through its IPO.
Of business revenue nears 20,000 crore rupees in FY24 at a growth rate of 25% after posting a 2x jump in FY23. And Tracker finds out that net profit spiked 30% to hit 600 crore rupees in the previous fiscal.
Nikhil Kamath confirms buying out a large chunk of Flipkart co-founder Sachin Bansal's 7.5% stake in electric scooter maker Ather Energy. The deal is reportedly worth about 282 crore rupees.
Healthcare-focused fintech Care.fi raises 16 crore rupees in debt capital from Trifecta Capital and an additional 505 crore rupees from UC Inclusive Credit. The startup aims to become a healthcare-focused small finance bank.
Well, those were the headlines that we are tracking for you from the startup world. Blackbuck, the logistics startup backed by private equity firm Accel, has filed a draft red herring prospectus with market regulator SEBI. The exercise will include a fresh issue of equity worth 550 crore rupees and an offer for sale of 2.16 crore shares. Akhil Vishwanath joins us with the details. Akhil.
Blackbuck is indeed the latest unicorn to join the steady flow of startup traffic towards Dalal Street. In fact, it is only the second logistics unicorn after delivery to file for an IPO. The truck aggregator platform aims to raise about 550 crore rupees through a fresh issue and an offer for sale of about 21 million shares. A host of Blackbuck's investors, including Accel, Peak 15, IFC, B Capital, Goldman Sachs, Sands Capital, and Tiger Global, will be selling in the IPO. Accel, the single largest institutional shareholder, is selling over 5 million shares held through 2 venture capital funds. As for the promoter group, Blackbuck's 3 co-founders, who collectively hold about 30% stake in the company, are set to sell 3.9 million shares cumulatively. From the IPO proceeds, the company will allocate 200 crores towards sales and marketing costs, and 140 crore rupees will be invested in its credit arm, Blackbuck FinServe. The remaining of the 550 crore rupees will be used for product development and general corporate purposes. Now, to take a quick look at the company's financials, Blackbuck reported revenue from operations at 296 crore rupees in FY24, up from 175 crore rupees in FY23, while losses stood at 166 crores in FY24 compared to 236 crores in the previous fiscal. In the IPO papers, Blackbuck claims to be one of India's largest digital platforms for truck operators, with 9.63 lakh truck operators representing about 25% of all of India's truck operators. Back to you.
Right, Akhil, many thanks for all those details. But, Blackbuck will join the growing list of new age tech companies who have hit the public market this year. How have startups been faring on Dalal Street? Hormaz is here with the report card. Hormaz?
Startup IPOs have been the trend over the last few years, and there have been a few of them this year as well. Some of them have been wealth creators, some of them have been wealth destroyers as well. Now, I'll take you through some of the more popular ones that have taken place this year and in the years gone by. Let's start off with Ixigo, the one that listed last month in July, the travel startup that was with the IPO price of 93 rupees, currently trading at around 170. So it's a healthy return from its IPO price, around about 80% higher compared to its IPO price. Is almost doubled there. The other one being Office, the office-based solutions provider, is listed in May of this year. IPO price of around 383, currently trading around 573 or 573 odd. So around 50% returns there as well from the IPO price. Now, GoDigit was the other one, the insurance player, also listed in May of 2024. The IPO price of around 272, currently trading around 380. So a 40% return on GoDigit as well from its IPO price. Now, going back to the popular year of startup listings, which was 2021, where we had a slew of startups from Zomato, Nykaa, all of them. Nykaa is the one still trading below its IPO price. They're listed in November of 2021, around about 187. Now, this price is adjusted for the bonus issue of shares. It had a very good run post its listing, but has seen a significant correction and still trades below its IPO price. The outperformer from this pack is Zomato, of course. The trading at the IPO price was 76, listed in July of 21. 2021 and has almost tripled from its IPO price. The big destroyer, the wealth destroyer here is Paytm, listed in November of 21. The IPO price, of course, 2150. It has still not seen those levels, and trading currently at around 480, so almost 80% below its IPO price. And Delivery, the logistics startup as well, listed in May of 22. The IPO price is 487, has not managed to see those levels again, barring once, and the current price around 400 rupees, so still trading 20% below its IPO price. And lastly, Cartrade, another underperforming IPO, price of around 1618, currently trading almost half of its IPO price. So there have been interesting startup IPOs that have come in. There are many more lined up in the future as well. We'll see how this trend pans out.
Well, thank you, Hormaz, for giving us a lowdown of startups faring on the Dalal Street. Moving on, Schoolnet, a market leader in the K-12 government school Edtech space, working with over 50,000 schools, has acquired private school-focused AI Edtech company GeniusTeacher in an all-stock deal for an undisclosed multi-million-dollar valuation. And to talk to us about this partnership, joining me now is RCM Reddy, Managing Director and CEO of Schoolnet India, and Aditya Sharma, the founder and CEO of GeniusTeacher. Mr. Reddy and Aditya, welcome to Startup Street. Mr. Reddy, let me start with you. Take us through the contours of the deal. It is a 100% acquisition. What made you acquire GeniusTeacher? And if you could disclose the valuation and also tell us what happens to GeniusTeacher's team.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shruti, for getting me and Aditya on this. And, you know, one of the reasons as to why we looked at Aditya, apart from his infectious energy, enthusiasm, that the value that he'll bring in, and we looked at the GeniusTeacher, which he co-founded along with two others, having very, very high quality next generation technology capability solution. Above all, their vision aligns with our vision of impacting at scale and also the outcome centric. Given these, we thought it's a very, very natural fit. We were trying to build our own AI-based solutions. We realized that the GeniusTeacher has an excellent solution. Therefore, why to reinvent the wheel? Therefore, we acquired them and very, very glad about it. It's turning out to a very good story. You know, you see my gray hair, great, building the Schoolnet into one of the largest platforms in the country for the past 20 years.
Yes.
This needs a little more of youthfulness, youngsters like Aditya with their enthusiasm. And what happens to them? All three co-founders, along with Aditya and two others, they lead important functions nationwide in the country. And so they are in the leadership group. In terms of valuation, while it is the all-stock acquisition, but today the company, we believe that should be valued, Schoolnet should be valued more than 1,000 crore is equity valuation is our assessment.
Okay, so more than 1,000 crores is where you're valuing the company. Aditya, let me quickly now come to you. You now join Schoolnet as the Chief Growth Officer. What made you partner with Schoolnet instead of just raising another round of funds? And also, what is the kind of impact you hope to make now? What is the big plan?
Sure. So I think before I start off, congratulations, Shruti, to you and your team for a super successful show and braving the mad monsoon in Mumbai to make today happen. I think you're right. We had multiple offers of around $5 to $8 million from some institutional investors. But when we sort of met Schoolnet, we realized that it is the hidden gem or an undiscovered Kohinoor of the Indian EdTech ecosystem. While most companies are still bleeding investor money and with no sign of profitability anywhere in the horizon, I think Schoolnet is a great inspiration for a Make in India company, which is still profitable at scale. And I would love to congratulate RCM for his fantastic leadership and the great culture that is there at Schoolnet, which has made a serial entrepreneur like me, along with the two co-founders from IIT Bombay, Shashank Pachore and Rutraj Atre, feel at home within Schoolnet. So we felt that there was a bigger game to be played and to be won. And that's why I'm excited to join Schoolnet as the Chief Growth Officer.
All right. Mr. Reddy, you know, Schoolnet is one of the very few profitable Indian EdTech companies operating at scale. You grossed 429 crore rupees in revenue and EBITDA of 69 crore rupees for FY24. You've digitally transformed over 50,000 government schools across 7 countries and impacted more than 25 million students and teachers. How are you improving student learning outcomes with your smart class solution and AI apps ecosystem? If you could tell us quickly.
So, Shruti, you know, we are very, very school focused. Our theory of change revolves around teacher and the school being central to the impact. Therefore, we work with a school and we deploy a device, digital content, train the teachers, work with that school for a period of 3 years. And we believe in these 3 years, the school will be able to adapt and use the technology that will result in learning outcomes. We have very significant focus on the outcomes. We have baseline survey, year 1, year 2, kind of end of year 1, end of year 2, end of year 3 kind of outcomes are measured and the corrective action is taken. So what is taught inside the school is also available to the students to learn after the school. So seamless integration between in-school and after-school kind of teaching learning environments probably were the only ones. Therefore, we believe that working with the school and teacher, building an ecosystem, integrating what happens inside the school, after the school, through personalized AI app solution will ensure that every child learns differently and we can measure and make it personalized.
Aditya, if you could quickly take us to the current scale and reach and revenue of Genius Teacher. I believe you're also looking to expand to over 10,000 private schools by FY27. How do you plan to do that and what markets you're eyeing? Any new offerings in the pipeline that will help you attract more students?
Sure. So I think, one of the few gems that we've been able to discover is that we've organically grown our product base to around 2.5 million active students on the platform, out of which around 10% of them are paid students across around 800 private schools of the country. And I think everyone would know the simple fact that the toughest thing in education is to get distribution, right? And now we feel that with the great scale and network that Schoolnet brings in, combining the strong product offering that we have, I think we would be able to scale this over the next few years to around 10,000 odd private schools in the market. The market that, if we talk a little bit about it, can be divided into 4 layers. You have the bottom of the pyramid as the government schools, then you have aided private schools, then you have affordable private schools, and at the top you have premium private schools. We feel that with our current innovative AI-led offering, the affordable private school market and the premium private school market is the right place for us, and that accumulates to more than 500,000 schools in the country. So I think that's the big dream and the big ambition that we have.
All right. One final question, Aditya, before I let you go. Genius Teacher is your second entrepreneurial venture to get acquired, first being housing.com. While you will be heading Schoolnet as Chief Growth Officer, will we hear of a third venture from you anytime soon? And if yes, what space would that be in?
Well, I think with housing, the feeling that I got was that you reach the final of a tournament and you're not able to lift the trophy.
Yeah.
I think one is very fortunate enough to be given a second chance. And I think that is what we have with Schoolnet today. And this time I'm very confident that along with RCM and the whole team, we will not only change the industry, but also win big. So full focus and full energy on Schoolnet. And I think there's a lot of work to be done within the EdTech sector. We're still a long way to go.
All right. So you're currently focusing on Schoolnet only. Thank you so much, Mr. Reddy. And thank you so much, Aditya, for joining us on Startup Street, and wish you the very best for this partnership.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shruti.
On that note, it is time for us to slip into a short break. But coming up next, Clodura.AI, an AI-powered sales prospecting platform, gets $2 million. We tell you how they plan to utilize the funds, revenue picture, and a whole lot more. Also on what's brewing, Glean Technologies opens its new office in India's tech hub, Bengaluru. All of that and more on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still with us on Startup Street. Clodura.AI, an innovator in AI-driven sales prospecting solutions, backed $2 million in its pre-Series A funding round, led by the Bharat Innovation Fund, with additional backing from Malpani Ventures. Now, these proceeds will be used to fuel the enhancements of Clodura.AI's platform, which uses large language models and generative AI to streamline the sales process. Joining me now is Kapil Kangoenkar, the founder and CEO of Clodura.AI. Kapil, thank you so much for taking time out and being here with us on Startup Street. You know, as I just said, Clodura.AI is a Gen AI-powered sales companion, to put it in layman terms, right? So you use LLMs and generative AI to help streamline the sales process from prospecting to closure. So how are you using tech to achieve this? And give us some use cases to help us understand this better.
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much, Shruti. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the call today. Been a big fan of the show for a long time. So basically what we're doing here is we are building an inclusive platform which allows all the sales guys in the world to do the whole process in a single platform. So right from data to doing outreach, to doing enrichment, to finding out charts, everything that a sales guy needs to do his lead gen process is basically combined now in a single platform. And that is what Clodura.AI does. We are actually building our own LLMs to enhance the data quality, to give far more data accuracy, data intelligence to our users, so that they can actually find customers easily and find the customers who are likely to pay faster, reducing their sales cycles in the process.
Right. Absolutely. Kapil, Arundhati here. So you also offer global coverage with real-time databases that includes 600 million plus contacts and 18 million firms, to name a few, right? Now, the platform enables hyper-targeted prospecting. So who are your clients and what kind of efficiencies are you bringing in for them?
So typically our clients are B2B companies. They're typically companies which are doing outbound lead gen in sales. What we are actually helping them do is, if you don't have any tool right now in the market, if you have to basically go and knock every single door and find out who's likely to be your potential customer. What we're doing is we're shortening that cycle. We're actually telling them that we're sort of putting a bell across their collars of their customers, and we're helping you hear them and find them far more easily than you can do it otherwise. So we're actually reducing the path between our customers and their customers in the process. So all the B2B customers, B2B companies who are having their inside sales processes running, technically are our customers.
Right. And, you just recently raised a pre-Series A round of around $2 million. And this was about a month ago. So how have you put those funds to use at this point?
So the idea is basically to build a complete sales co-pilot engine. What it will do is essentially bridge a gap between a very junior sales guy and a 20-year-old salesperson. So essentially our objective is to make every sales guy look like he's extremely experienced. He's done a lot of research on the company. How can he actually come out as a much more smarter salesperson and reach out with far more efficiency? So we're actually building this sales co-pilot, which will allow every single user to completely follow the processes given in the platform and reach it to its customers with minimum resistance. So we are investing all our investments right now into building this co-pilot engine and, of course, doing the marketing along with it.
Absolutely. So that's where most of the funds are going. But, let's talk about numbers then. What about revenues? Can you take us through what you're clocking at this point? And where do you hope to close this year?
So I can't divulge into revenues, but the good thing is we actually grew about 1,200% last year. Which has actually allowed us to raise this round. Everybody's aware about the market conditions right now, they're not very favorable for startup fundings. Almost 30% of the companies are only getting funded compared to last year. But we've managed to basically grow at a very decent pace. We've managed very healthy operating profits. We're also having a very decent EBITDA, and that actually has allowed us to raise this round. And we're continuing to grow, maintaining basic sound business principles intact.
All right. Yeah, it has been a tough time in terms of raising funds for a while now, but absolutely. So give us a sense of your current presence then. How big is the opportunity for AI in sales, especially with what you're doing, and any new offerings that you're looking to launch?
Absolutely. So we are actually having a very decent run in India and the US market. India, of course, has been our primary market since day one. US, we have a very decent presence. With this funding round, we are actually looking to grow even deeper in US and proliferate into Australia and the Europe region. So we are looking to actually grow in all those 4 regions together right now. But of course, US being our main hunting ground. As I said, our main investment is right now going into building the sales co-pilot engine, which will actually essentially build the entire AI-based capabilities for sales guys. Without doing anything, they can actually reach out to the customer in one single click of a button.
All right, US is going to be your main hunting ground. So what's currently the revenue mix between India, US, and all the new geographies that you're eyeing? And where do you hope to see it in 1 year from now?
So today, we are roughly about 50-50 in India and US. So about 25-25 in India, US, and remaining 50% is actually the rest of the world. And that's where we want to grow. We want to grow more in US right now, where we can actually target large enterprise accounts. We are actually the single most fastest growing organization right now in the sales intelligence space. In the last year, we've grown the fastest. Even this year, actually, we look to maintain that track and bolster our position in US going forward.
All right, Kapil, many thanks for joining us on the show. We're completely out of time, but we wish you all the best on your journey going forward.
Thank you so much for having me here.
All right, moving on. General Catalyst and Sequoia Capital-backed AI unicorn Glean opens its first India office in Bengaluru, seeking to grow adoption for its enterprise AI platform. Ritu Singh caught up with its founder on the sidelines of that launch. Take a look.
Well, Palo Alto-based startup Glean Technologies has just announced the launch of its first ever office in India here in Bengaluru. Founded in 2019, Glean is an AI-powered workforce search engine of sorts that is now valued at more than $2.2 billion. Not only will this Bengaluru office serve as its center of operations for India, but also be a critical hub for its global operations. For more on their plans for India, I am now joined by the founder and CEO of the company, Mr. Arvind Jain. Arvind, thanks very much for your time here on CNBC-TV18. Let me just dial back a bit from your journey as the co-founder of Rubrik, your early years at Google. What kind of experience do you bring into founding Glean? And give us a sense of, what is the sort of product market, gap that you found that you're looking to solve with Glean?
Yeah, so as you described, Glean is a enterprise search engine. Our business is about making it really easy for employees in a company find information that they need to do their work. So you can also think of Glean like it's Google or ChatGPT, but inside your company. So for me personally, my background as being a search engineer at Google for over a decade, that's actually a foundational experience that I was actually able to apply to build the Glean product. And we're really excited about us, opening our office in Bangalore.
Well, give us a sense, because the company is now only about 4 or 5 years old. How fast is the business growing? What sort of revenues and profits are you already generating? And who are some of your marquee clients for our audience?
So Glean is actually growing very fast, and partly because, as an AI assistant for the enterprise, this is a market, where there's a lot of demand. If you think about all enterprises, the CEOs, the boardrooms, they all understand that we have to invest in AI now. If we don't invest in AI, we're going to fall behind and we won't be relevant in the future. And deploying AI in the enterprise is actually very difficult, because if you think about all these models like ChatGPT and Gemini, those language models, AI models, they've been trained on the world's public knowledge. They don't know anything about your company, your information. And so making these models, these AI technologies work in the enterprise is very hard. And that's where Glean comes in. So if you think about Glean, it functions just like ChatGPT. You go to Glean, you come and ask questions, and it answers those questions for you using your company knowledge, and it does it in a safe and secure way, where it understands who you are as an employee, and it will only use the knowledge that you're authorized to use inside your company to answer those questions for you.
But one of the biggest problems for generative AI has been data hallucination.
Yes.
Is that something you at Glean have been able to solve, or is that something you battle with as well?
That's actually, I was coming to that. That's the next challenge of enterprise AI, is that you can't afford, to have AI that actually hallucinates, that gives you answers which are incorrect, because see, when you're actually working, things are serious. You got to actually do the right work. You can't actually use wrong information. So that's a big part of the Glean product as well, is making sure that all the answers or all the work that AI does is is grounded in with your enterprise knowledge. Business has been growing 300% year over year for the last few years.
That's what I was getting to. So if you could share any more financials, of course, apart from the growth where your current revenues are at, and the big clients that you're currently serving here in India as well.
Yeah. So we have clients globally, and some of the world's leading companies. For example, globally the leader in transportation, some of the largest telecom companies in the world.
Any names?
The top 5 financials. Yeah, I can give some names, like you think about like tech companies, big data companies. So Databricks is one of our customers, and we also have quite a few customers in the Asia, India, and APAC region. One of the largest banks in this region. Again, one of the largest sort of ride-hailing service, and many more. So typically Glean works with large enterprises around the world. We have hundreds of customers, and we're seeing our business really flourish and growing at a very fast pace.
So what are the plans for India? Give us a sense of what kind of investment you're looking to make, because you've recently raised that funding, and you're now valued at more than $2.2 billion. How much of that is being funneled into India?
Yes, great question. So today we have our company is about total of 500 people. We have 150, of that, is in our Bangalore office now, and we have plans to significantly grow that. By the end of next year, we're going to actually triple our workforce in India, and so we're actually planning to make significant investments, in our India office and our India business. We expect the center, is not just if you think about what we're doing, in India is not just doing R&D. We're actually planning to make India the hub for our international business.
Any numbers you could share in terms of India's contribution to, say, your top line and the number of clients you may generate?
Well, I mean, I think it's sort of, we don't we think of ourselves as a global company. And
let's say the market for you as a global company.
Yeah. Well, so first, if you think about R&D, our R&D is actually equally divided between India and US. And so I would say that the contribution of the team here is actually 50% of our total business, right? So so the India team is actually contributing very significantly to our global success. Now, in terms of the market itself, so today, India is not a big market for us, and that's what this. That's why we're actually, announcing our new office and our big initiative. We're going to be building a large local team and grow our business here. See, India is one of the largest economies of the world. We've seen a lot of interest from the large enterprises in India, so we're really excited, and we hope to make India one of our top 3 markets in the near future.
That's Glean betting big on India. But with that, it is a wrap on this edition of Startup Street. More news and updates coming up on the other side. From Shruti and me, goodbye and many thanks for watching.